as I invite our first speaker, Mr. Michael Seum, the Vice President of Design for Grohe, Germany. He's an award-winning designer whose international design career spans large corporations, acclaimed design studios, and entrepreneurial startup brands such as Kohler, Sterling, Procter and Gamble, Whirlpool, PepsiCo Sports and Nutrition, Minimal, and WiMo Labs. At Grohe, Michael is responsible for delivering insight-driven, meaningful solutions that capture the spirit and imagination of Grohe consumers throughout the world. So let us put our hands together for Mr. Michael Seum.
Good morning. I am absolutely convinced the future is bright for architecture in Malaysia. So well done, congratulations. I'm really excited to be here. What I'm going to share today is really how we are, from a design perspective, shaping the future of water. This has a lot to do with your world because a lot of your buildings require water. So I want to share the design philosophy behind the Grohe design team. So I lead an amazing team in 3 different locations. Our headquarters are based in Dusseldorf with studios in New York and Shanghai. If you'd like to follow me on Instagram, below are the details here, so please. This is a team of about 20 designers. It changes in proximity, but the nationalities are 11 different backgrounds. Very diverse team, different skill sets. I have digital designers, I have engineers, I have product designers, I have interior architects. And we really embed this kind of cross-functional philosophy because we're in an experience economy, so it's no longer just about the physical product for us as a brand. It's really about the total experience for our consumers and our customers. This is an incredibly talented team, okay? This is a little bit of me patting ourselves on the back, but I want to express to you the same level of award and recognition that happens within the architecture community is just as important to us. We have been on an absolute tear in the last 3 years, well, the last 2 years, and this year included. We have beaten every record for design awards in the industry. This has gotten us a ranking amongst the best companies in the world. We are literally sitting side by side to Apple, to Sony, to Samsung with the total award status. This is absolutely incredible considering the size of this brand. Okay, now on to the real presentation. So, to shape the future of water, what I'm going to share to you is some of the philosophies and the strategies behind the mega trends driving our industry. This has a lot to do with your world as well, so hopefully you see some synergies between the trends. So I will talk through each of the 5 mega trends and give you some case studies of how we're developing this. Now keep in mind, these are all developments that happened 2 years ago, so we're even working further ahead on this at the moment. So when we talk about the idea of seeking simplicity, I think this is really related to the world of architecture and also product design. You know, we have a design DNA that's embedded in simplicity. It's really minimalist. We infuse signature elements, we infuse details that as you're driving in a car and you look in the rear view mirror and you can recognize the car without seeing the brand. This is the DNA of a philosophy of DNA. You know, this is to create objects that are recognizable. This is a design philosophy. We don't need to be like the automotive industry, but we like to be recognized in retail and consistent with our design DNA. But the real idea behind seeking simplicity is recognizing what's happening in the outside world. Okay? We all live hectic, busy, crazy lives, okay? So when we come home, we want to seek simplicity. We want some calmness. We want some respite from our day-to-day stress, okay? This has a lot to do with what you do, but I think really the areas that we design are all about mental health, well-being. Really, these are areas where water can play a role in an emotional transformative experience. And I think this is really, really exciting. So our design philosophy, when we look at things, I try to keep it really, really simple, but sensual in a way as well. So we're using our DNA to also drive simplicity. It's more about what we didn't do than what we did. We could do a lot, but it's about using some restraint in the design DNA. And you see this applied even in just subtle details of surfacing on some of our products, right? We really want these products to blend into the spaces, evoke a sense of calm and simplicity. But the simplicity has to go beyond aesthetics. As you know, we have to put the user and the user experience as the priority for simplicity. One of my biggest frustrations, and I think you all could help with this, is every time I step into a hotel, I feel like I need to fly an airplane to figure out how to control the shower. This is absolutely insane, and I'm an expert in the industry, okay? I don't know if I do this, where, and what's gonna come out. So what we've done with a simple technology that we call Smart Control is try to put very intuitive control icons, okay? And I did aging simulation. I put the cataracts glasses on. These were the only icons that I could see out of every product in the industry, okay? And this is something that we all need to think about because we're not getting younger, okay? The beauty behind this shower system is it actually works. So for those of you that have long hair, have you ever talked to a supplier about the power of rinsing shampoo, right? The actual things that we do in our showers. Everybody's talking about size of the forms, all this stuff, but actually thinking about the user. You have the ability to control and turn up the volume of the water and identify, and so this really creates a very simple but flexible user experience behind this. And this is a key technology that we embed across the line. Even our hand showers have these subtle details where it's very intuitive to control different spray technologies based on the function that you're doing in the shower. Sometimes you want relaxation, sometimes you need functional. We've taken this technology into the kitchen. And if you think about it, what you're looking at is really a handleless kitchen product with no digital technology. Okay? All of the control has been brought to the front of the faucet. So if you're holding a pot, you hit it with your elbow, you can really turn this on while you're doing this. You have a pull-out feature with this. You can control the spray and the intensity with your thumb. It's a very, very dynamic experience. This philosophy of simplicity is really in usage for us as well. Design aesthetics and usage, and that's the Smart Control technology. Now I want to talk to you about a new collection and a little bit of a peek under the covers of our design philosophy. So we also are very inspired by architecture. And so when we look to design a new collection, we actually look at your work. Believe it or not, this is very interesting to us. I actually wanted to be an architect. I found industrial design instead. But we looked at the shape of architecture, and if you think about the columns that carried water from the ancient Roman viaducts, you know, we found a lot of inspiration. But we said, could this be one geometry that we use? So we created an entire line derived from the arch. You know, it's a very, very like welcoming gesture into architecture. And this is driving a little bit of our philosophy in design. So I think when you really see these products, and I truly mean this, we took inspiration from some of the simplest elements and the classical elements in architecture. So please specify it because it's really inspired by what you do and what your past. But we've brought some more functionality into the line. So what we have here is a digital capacity. One of the things that we need to do in order to respect and nudge consumers towards better water usage is to make it more visible what's happening. So we have a digital temperature display, and there's a huge difference between using hot water and cold water. And if we can slightly nudge consumers' behavior towards water usage or better habits on water usage, we can all be more sustainable in our practice. And also just simple spray functionality. So you can wave your hand across the front of the faucet and you can change the spray. So maybe if you want to rinse a razor, you want to do some washing, there's some added functionality into this line. This product won us the best of the best at the Red Dot Design Award. So Monday when I land back in Germany, I'm going to be on stage picking up an award that's given only to the best companies in the world. So this is really incredible for us. All right, I'm sorry in advance. I am preaching to the choir. I really am telling you what you already know, okay? So, as you know, the home has evolved immensely, okay? I'm looking at the spaces that we design in. When you think about the kitchen and the bathroom, these were separate, closed-off spaces. Actually, the importance of design was quite low. It just had to work. But what's happened is we've seen different behavioral needs, different technologies, the way we consume media. You know, I think it was brought up even yesterday, like, why do you need a couch? You can watch TV anywhere now with your iPad and your Netflix. The kitchen and lounge have just converged into one space. The home office is coming in. This change in space has changed also how we have to design and think about our products. This is an amazing evolution of how we're living. And I no longer think about washing dishes in the functionality. It's important. But what we think about is, how do we bring people together to cherish meals and recognize the kitchen is a place to create memories. It's a place where we come closer. The dinner table is moving into the lounge. Everybody wants to be in the kitchen, right? This has put a new level of importance on the design experience behind the kitchen. Similar, but yet different in terms of the dynamics and the amount of people in the space is what's happening in what I would call now the redefined bathroom. It is no longer just a place of function. It's a place to escape. You can still disappear and close the door, but it's got a real wellness and mental health. Water is this transformative element that you can really relax. You can become separated from your stress of your day-to-day life. And the bedroom is turning into a cocooning area. And there's a social divider here, right? These spaces within the home are still connected, but you don't invite guests into this space, right? But it's transformative, it's experiential. And I read recently that if any of you are working in hospitality, you are really influencing home design for the future, because hotel design has turned into really the next generation of design inspiration for consumers. They're literally wanting to box this up and bring it in home. So it's absolutely critical that we get these experiences right as designers, as architects, as interior designers, because it has a lot of influence. The biggest change that we're seeing with the dynamics behind this is the need to create an emotional story of space. When these spaces open up and they blur together, we create a new dynamic and a new expectation for the fixtures. I know that you want that tap to match with your light switches, your lighting, and there's a certain story that involves the use of color, finish, and material. And it's really critical that we, as the creative community in designing these spaces, are working together to build the story for these consumers. And you have a lot of flexibility these days with color. We are seeing explosive growth on the use of color, and this is really, really fun, I think, for designers, for consumers, for everybody involved. Shifting gears into kind of the next level of mega trends. Any one of you today can walk into a Nike store and create a custom shoe. Right? And we're seeing this at every level. You, as a consumer, are driving the creativity of product design. We have to address that. So we see the potential for customization increasing in the future. The standard products are no longer the basis of expectations, right? We have to exceed this. So what we've done, our Atrio line, similar to the new Plus line that I showed you, it's all derived from a circle, probably the most purest form that we can. And this was the basis for using this platform as a means to customize. Because we've used such simple geometry, we can create a lot of variation of product with choosing different colors, finishes, and materials and handles. So we have 3 handles, we have 10 colors, and 4 material inserts. And it's literally like going to a jewelry store and putting together a product. And this is really special if you're working on a customized space. So just to give you an idea, you take the basic form, you switch out the handles, and it becomes something different, right? By changing the color, the finish. So this is the level of consumers becoming creators. They want to get deeply involved with the process. And also, I want to work with you on this process. We can do special projects together. I think that's the beauty. So you see some examples of how this can work. This gives you a lot of flexibility in design platform. This is actually my favorite one. It's like if you could be any more reduced, I don't know how to do it in terms of simplicity. So if anybody wants to help me create that bathroom, let's work together. Just to give you an idea behind some of the different expressions that you get out of this customization. And I personally love the idea of being able to match materials, right? Extracting the material that you might have specified into the handle behind it. So this is Atrio Private Collection. How many of you are working with 3D printing? How many of you know of 3D printing? Okay, because I don't know how far I have to explain this technology. When we talk about the future of customization and personalization, so if you came to me today and said, Michael, I don't like the dimension of this faucet, I would say, I'm sorry, we can't really fix that because we've spent all this money to tool it and we've set it at this standard. In the era of digital manufacturing, guess what? Thank you for bringing that up. What size would you like? Because what we have is the ability to turn on and off the machine and print on demand almost any possible geometry that we can make. This is super transformative. Now, 3D printing is in its infancy in terms of efficiency, speed. I mean, there's still a long ways to go. But what I'm going to show to you are the first 3D printed faucets that Grohe has produced. And by saying produced, we've invested in machinery. We own the 3D printing machines, and we've built and made a specific type of stainless steel that meets all of the requirements for water usage, water safety, and also the printing resolution we made. This is not a 3D printed faucet, okay? But what we've done is we've tried to transfer what you can do with so I'll give you a compare and contrast. What you can do with traditional manufacturing versus 3D printing. Just look at this. It's absolutely amazing. Look at how thin that is. And you want to talk about sustainability. There's no waste in this process. What you print is there. There's nothing other than stainless steel in this design. Okay, give you another view on that. And if you look closely, this product is split in half. So when you see it, I was in a fair and a woman was standing next to me and they said, how does this work? And I said, Wi-Fi. She couldn't understand where the water was coming from. And she believed me on the Wi-Fi, which was even scarier. To give you another view on this. So this is 4,000 layers of stainless steel printed to make this product. 4,000. So that's about the thickness of your human hair, each layer to create this. It takes 1 day to make this product in the machine. So it's expensive. We can sell them for about 10,000 euros each, okay? They're very exclusive, 300 pieces per year. I'll take orders after the presentation. I have to pay for my trip somehow. But it really, to me, this is the future of consumer becomes the creator because it really allows us to do something special and unique. So when we launched this in March, I had been working with the architecture firm Snoette to do a custom set of faucets for their project that is underwater, so the restaurant under. And so we're going to install these faucets hopefully in the middle of summer. So they're being custom made for this particular, and this gives us the ability to work with some of these iconic pieces of architecture and do something that doesn't exist anywhere in the world. And that's not possible with traditional manufacturing. So we had a lively debate about IoT, so Internet of Things, and it even went into social media discussions and how consumed we are. But I believe one of the biggest trends in the next coming days is how can we more intelligently manage our life. This is going to continue to come into the world of architecture, the world of homes, the world of everything. Everything is connected. So we know water as, you know, I said earlier, it's transformative, right? It can really make you feel good. Not this way, though. This is really a problem. And a lot of water damage happens. So we looked at this and we said, is there a way to solve this problem? Because everybody has a dog. I mean, hopefully not your dog is not doing something like this. But we really said, is there a water security system that we could develop that would allow you to monitor some better behaviors around your water usage, your humidity, and also prevent water damage. So what you're looking at here is a water sensor. It's a small device. It's connected to your Wi-Fi, and basically you put this anywhere you want to monitor water leakage, room humidity, you know, to make sure you don't go into the thresholds of mold growth and so forth. It has all this ability to collect this data. But if you happen to have a leak, it will send an audible alert. It will notify you via app, and it will tell you have a problem developing, okay? But that doesn't stop the water. This is a little bit like a fire alarm, okay? To stop the water, you actually need a device that's connected to your mains. We have that too. That's called SenseGuard. And what's really amazing about this product is it has the ability to sense micro leakages. So the small and even dangerous leaks that are inside your walls that you're maybe not even seeing, okay? It knows the difference between a flush toilet, a running shower, a bathtub. It's this smart because of this algorithm that our R&D team has developed on this. But for me, the biggest opportunity here is this is not just about water security. I guarantee you, there's probably somebody that's a huge data nerd in the crowd, but I guarantee you 99% of you have no idea how much water you're consuming on a daily basis. This is really scary to me. This is really scary to me. If water was an unlimited resource, I would be fine and I would say, okay, let's move on, next slide. But we have to have better understanding of how we're using water. And if you really think about it, it's not just in the home. Our public water supplies, we consume 2% of all water brought to the homes by what's coming in our mouth. So what we're drinking is 2% of all the water, yet we treat all of the water coming into homes for that 2%. So we're not even using the water in an efficient way. So what this app gives you is it gives you your total daily water consumption in liters. It connects back to your utility bill, allows you to understand the total cost of water usage. It tells you when you have a problem, and it allows you to really gamify this experience. So if you have a goal for reducing your water consumption, you can start to benchmark some good behaviors around this, okay? So that's from a consumer perspective. The big breakthrough actually in this product for us was when we started to hear and get calls from insurance companies. This has been a really transformative product for us because it's creating new business models. We're actually installing 16,000 of these in Finland, okay? Finland. But why? Because they have huge temperature swings. And these temperature swings stress the plumbing and the infrastructure and create a lot of damage when consumers are away, if it's a summer home or if it's whatnot. So this is a huge, and insurance companies aren't making money when consumers have water damage. This is not about insuring, this is about reassuring that you don't have water damage. And it's also very, very interesting for the future of better management of water supplies. Okay, last but not least, and one of the most important. I was really bad at math as a child. This is probably why I ended up in design school. There are 4 water bottles. They're all bad, okay, but there are 4. The problem with bottled water, and it's a problem in Europe, it's a real problem in Asia. It takes 7 times the volume of water to consume 1 bottle. So you're using 7 liters of water. Hide your water bottles because I'm going to point you out. You're using 7 liters of water to consume that 1 liter of water. Okay? It's really inefficient. But let's say the first bottle is recycled. This is good. Okay? This is at least the best possible option. But the second one gets thrown, runs in a waterway, ends up in the ocean, and unfortunately, if you like your sushi, it's probably there, okay? Because it ends up in the Great Pacific Garbage Reef, and people are eating this. It's really sad. The third bottle basically gets thrown on the ground, gets put in the trash, it becomes leachate stew. Really pleasant, right? 1,000 years, it pollutes the groundwater. We have to change. We have to change. This is no longer acceptable for what's a sustainable behavior. So the 4th bottle isn't a bottle at all. It's about unbottling. We need to take control of better water behaviors. This is a product that I would challenge you, if you have a large office development, get your customer, your clients, to convert to this system. Push them for more sustainable behavior around bottle usage. Be the example. I live in a house that is absolutely bottle-free. My 2 girls are like wicked policemen with their friends. My 12-year-old daughter is president of a self-initiated eco club. Okay? It's up to us to set the example. And this is one of the best ways that you can change your behavior. Get rid of plastic bottles, okay? And there's a lot more work to do with plastics, but this is one way we can do it. On the connected product, we also know that health and wellness, and there's the need for replenishment. So below the counter for these devices, you have a carbonator and you have a filter system and a cooling system, right? This is where all the magic happens below. So that's what allows you to have a beverage system on this. We also have a hot water system, so if you like tea. One of the biggest challenges is on the back end is how can we make it more convenient for consumers to order and replace their filters to ensure that they never run out of safe drinking water. So we've made the app experience auto-replenish, so you can set up and order your filtration and your carbonation automatically. You can also track your water consumption, so if it's something that you're doing for personal wellness, whatnot. I hope this is a little bit of insight into the world and the philosophy behind what's driving Grohe. I realize that as architects, you have a lot of choices. You have a lot of choices as brands. If there's anything that I can tell you, I'm not standing here as a designer that's marketing my name to you, okay? Because this is the sad state of this industry. Sometimes you're being sold a designer's name. What Grohe is bringing to you is a philosophy and a pursuit of innovation, sustainability, good user experience and technology behind a brand that you can trust. And I'm extremely proud of the work that we do. I'm more proud of the work that we do together because I think this will ultimately change the world in a positive way. It's been a pleasure. Thank you.